Ladies, get a warm rag and squeeze in some last minute Kegels. It's the B.A.T.R Bomb! All right, so what's up, everyone? My name is Stitchy Richie. I'm here with Boss Narith, and Aurelius. And we're three guys that actually came together playing a game called Conan back when it wasn't quite as buggy as it is now. I had a great time. We were on a server where a guy wouldn't let us PvP. And to make a long story short, we basically said, to hell with this guy. We got together. We made our own server. We've been kind of gaming ever since. And, really just having a good time and became great friends through it. So today we have a podcast. I guess the big thing on the agenda is we recently had the live stream for Funcom, and they went over their new battle pass, their update that they're going to be bringing to us supposedly in the third quarter of this year, which looks like it's going to be probably the fourth quarter. But anyway, we got together. We're going to talk about it a little bit, talk about the good and the bad, and maybe we'll squeeze in a few other things to talk about. So go ahead, guys. Let's go ahead and get it going. Should we start with the good? Maybe bring up one or two good things that happen here.
I say yeah, bring up some good, and then we bring in that shit, because there's a whole lot of it, but it's nice to ease somebody into that first.
You gotta lube it up before you get into the shit,
Yeah. I would say the first thing I would say about good about the game is that it's really a cool game. I guess I'm saying something bad too. They kind of ruined it with all the bugs that are in it. It's like impossible to play on console, which I guess if you have a PC, maybe that's a little better. But it's it's a cool game, and it really was my favorite game for quite a long time. I put a lot of hours in on it. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I guess I'll take that one. From what they showed, honestly, the coolest thing, and I know there's some disagreement within the group about this, but the building is probably the thing I'm most excited for, is the revamp of the building system and just everything kind of sitting in one area. So you don't have to keep running through building a piece and then bringing it back over to your wheel. You just get the hammer, and then you can go through and build everything. So I think that's the main thing that's really going to be something interesting, something cool and a little bit different that they're bringing into it. I think it'll be a good thing.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, go ahead, boss.
No, I was gonna.
It's time to pass the mic to you. Which I think the building thing is an improvement. But
Well, and I was gonna say that the building, the way it would be done for like admin building, I think that's great. I think removing some of the restrictions as far as building limits, I think that's great too. On the other hand, there are a few gripes I have with it, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where they're not truly forcing your hand. And the gripe I have is now you can't share building pieces, and that kind of really sucks, because I've got all the DLCs. I know you've got all the DLCs, or I believe you got all the DLCs, but Aurelius doesn't.
I've got like half of them. So.
Oh, well, then even better. I mean, you guys don't have all the DLCs, and I have to, sometimes give you guys those building pieces, and now I'm unable to, which kind of forces your hand to either have me build it if I'm online, or shell out the, what is it, $14 for the DLC, which, granted, you're not being forced to, but it's kind of fucked. But
Yeah, I
you
can
know,
see that. Whereas before we could have shared, right? You buy one DLC, I'll buy the other. Aurelius buys one. Thor, who's also here, part of that four-man clique I was talking about, he buys the other, and then we have them all collectively. Now we can't do that.
Well, and especially with it, if what I saw was correct, yeah, you can't share the building pieces, but also getting into this a little bit later, that is going to the battle pass is going to take over for the actual DLC.
Oh, I don't like that. We'll get into that a little bit later. I'm sorry, boss. I kind of interrupted you. You want to finish your point?
Oh no, that was my point. Was it's just kind of shit that now we can't share DLC pieces with each other. It's you either have them or you don't, or you get somebody that may have the time to build the thing you need.
Yeah, that does kind of suck. Hey, Thor, did you get a chance to catch up on that live stream that Funcom did? And if so, we're on the good before we go to the bad and the ugly, which there's a lot of that. So we want to talk about some of the good things first.
Fortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch that live stream yet.
Okay.
I had some other things going on.
All right. Yeah, for all you out there who don't know, Thor is actually, they call him TLC because they say he's always out there chasing waterfalls. The man is just, oh man, just runs through women like I run through, cheeseburgers. It's amazing.
Chasing waterfalls and making waterfalls.
Yeah, making waterfalls, more like it.
Hey, runs through more women than I run through tissue paper. So, yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, yeah. And they call him the human tampon because of the time of the month that he decides to get with him, but that's another story.
Shit.
Don't you mean the human tampire?
Tampire.
A bit of both.
But while we're on building pieces, I got another thing of good kudos that I want to give to Funcom. Is no one has ever ported a game over to PlayStation that I know of, or over to console that I know of, that has done it so smooth as far as like the inventory goes. They had a problem with it, which was the building pieces. You'd have to scroll through 1,000 of them just to get to something. But even that being factored in, the way they set up your inventory, your build menus, and things like that, best game I've ever seen do it. So kudos to them for that, and they even made some progress on it and made it a little better. Before we get into all the problems that Funcom has and the disrespect they showed to their fan base, what else was good about that? Like, what did people like about? I kind of thought the teleport thing was cool, but what are some of the ideas of what was good?
Honestly, I'd say that teleport thing that was the main thing because I don't know if you guys remember, but I brought that up maybe a couple months ago or something. Like, I wish there was a way for them to just add teleport areas on the actual map room so that you could teleport in between bases, do something so you didn't have to specifically go to an obelisk. Teleport to another base that's maybe near, I don't know, Brimstone Lake and where you get black ice or right near two obelisks. But, maybe somewhere up north that's near a camp you maybe like to go and hit up every so often. So the fact that they've added in a teleport pad, and you could link them between your clan buildings and anywhere you build it in your clan, I think that's pretty cool. Now, I don't know, boss, you were saying that apparently if you die and that teleport's open, one of the enemy clans can teleport to any of your other clan portals that are open. So I don't know, that brings an interesting PvP thing. Who knows, maybe people will use them and specifically put them in trap rooms that have a bunch of thralls that are high level in there. So somebody spawns in, kills them, you could take their loot. Who knows? But I like the fact that you'd be able to teleport now to specific areas.
Yeah, that is actually pretty cool, I think. Yeah,
Oh, no, I cut you off. What I was just going to say was that teleporters are an interesting idea, and it does provide more PvP strategy. Something I liked was the fact that they're actually bringing a form of sorcery to the game finally. That I think is pretty cool. I probably won't use it, but it's still a very interesting thing to potentially think about combating. Because now we're not just fighting, straightforward. We might have to fight fucking straightforward in the darkness, or, I think I saw one spell that destroyed nearby trees and shit. So I'm wondering if that can actually damage building pieces, and if you have shitty building pieces, will that destroy them? Just interesting concepts that may come about during PvP, but who knows? It may be one of those things that's just, ooh, it looks cool, but functionality-wise, it's shit.
Yeah, I mean, It's definitely cool when they add things, but some of the stuff I thought, like the ice bridge, you can make an ice bridge, but it's also pretty weak because if you slap it one time with any weapon, it'll go away. Um,
Yeah, that is a bit
I
weird.
guess that can help you get up high into a base, but I don't think it's really made so it can get you into like a towering base or something like that.
It's all right. Get your X-Men on with it, though. Start riding around. That's going to be my primary form of fucking travel.
Right.
Jesus.
Trying to think of what were some of the other features with sorcery that they did put in. I think there was like an invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
So, not an invisibility cloak, but it looks like they're, at least in that first battle pass, which I would assume everything's going to be, that they showed is actually going to be in the first battle pass. But they have 5 invisibility potions, which actually, listening to that live stream, it sounds like those one-time use items that you get there, they are account bound, so they can only be tethered to one account for that. So it's not like you could get it on multiple characters. It'd have to be, per one account. Depends on the character you use for whether you get it on there. But yeah, those single-use items, you only get those that they provide in the battle pass. So apparently there's no way to craft them. So that comes to the invisibility potions that they've got. Apparently, you can't craft any extra of those. So the 5 that you see in there that you get from that are the only 5 that you'll ever get, apparently, or at least unless they release it in another battle pass, another 5, from my understanding, at least.
Okay.
Well, it's still not just cosmetics, though. That's one of the issues I got with it, but that's, again, later time. We're doing good things.
Well. It is cosmetic, because technically you're only invisible, which is just changing your cosmetic look.
Okay.
That's like when you're arguing with a child or a baby and they try to get all technical on you.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
well, that's what it is. Apparently, I would assume that's what their workaround's going to be. But at least with those, the only thing I got to say about that is that they have made those ones free. So even if it's something like you get a potion that isn't just cosmetic, it seems like they're making those free. So you don't have to actually purchase the battle pass. You do still have to work through it, but you don't have to purchase it. So you won't get the 20 tiers that are below that, but once you get to the 30th tier that unlocks those 5 vials of invisibility potion, you'll get those 5 vials. So I'm cool with that as long as everybody has the ability to get them, whether they buy the battle pass or not. But it is a little bit sketchy that they're saying it's only cosmetics and they're putting in an invisibility potion like that doesn't assist with PvP in any way.
Okay, and then as far as just the sorcery in general, like what are some of the spells or the things that you can do in there that you guys like?
I'd have to say the Calling in Storms. I mean, I think that was the main one that I saw, but Calling in Storms looks like that might actually be pretty cool. So, but I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones because I guess you could learn a system of words and then combine them up when you use your arcane staff to conjure certain spells. So you can apparently build your own spells depending on the words of power that you use.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, none of it seems interesting to me because it's all just, and this is just personal opinion. It just seems very much utilitarian as opposed to, or not utilitarian, utility as opposed to,
Something you can actually use.
Yeah, something that I could actually go to war with. If I wanted to have a fucking ice wall, okay, cool. What's the cost of power as they put it? Do I have to give up half my fucking life, or do I just only have to give up a quarter? Can I use these magic thing or these spells and go on single man raids? It doesn't really scream much functionality. Thor, you got any opinions on this?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't watch their podcast to really explain a lot of the stuff, but I've been waiting on them to add some form of magic to see what they were going to do since they've been talking about this for well over a year.
Thor was in a little place outside of Kentucky called Pound Town. when the stream was on.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. God.
So I did hear something about Raising the Dead. Did anyone really catch more of them talking more in depth about that? Because I kind of just went over the how you'd say like the recap of it. And
Yeah.
I honestly wasn't all
I
that.
saw their glitch where they
Yeah.
all spawned on an outcrop, but it looks like you can spawn zombie armies to help you fight, as well as it looks like you can spawn actual individual zombies that kind of work like followers. Unfortunately, I didn't get to really see the full stream because I was working when they put it on. But yeah, from what I saw when they spawned it in, other than that they glitched out on an outcropping, and they were wondering why they couldn't find them. But they found them. But apparently, yeah, those are undead warriors that you can use. So that's kind of cool that you can spawn those in. Because, yeah, I mean, that basically means, you know, if you're getting 2-on-1 by somebody and then all of a sudden you spawn in 4 or 5 zombies that they have to go dispatch, it may not, those zombies probably won't kill them. They probably won't help you other than to distract, but it'll give you time to roll around and try and take them out or something like that. So, I mean, as for the sorcery portion with that, that looks pretty cool. The one thing that did catch my eye that I was kind of playing around in the test live.
I'm going to let you finish, but honestly, I think a zombie army is pretty freaking cool. But keep going.
Oh, no, it is for sure. So, I mean, like, it's going to be interesting to see what your cap is on how many zombies you can actually spawn in at a time. But, yeah, the one other thing was that thaumaturgy, I'm fucking that up real bad. But whatever the fuck that bench is that they're adding in, you can add the appearance of a certain weapon to the stats of another weapon and then have that, you know, a new weapon, I guess it's not really new, pop out of there. So I was messing around with that on the test live client, and yeah, dude, you can put the stats of star metal daggers with the appearance of stone daggers, and then you have star metal daggers that look like stone daggers, which will be a mind fuck for people, I'm sure, because you could roll into some shit holding what looks like stone daggers and try to go fuck some people up, and then maybe be wearing something that looks like low tier armor that's not low tier armor, and it'll be a mind fuck for somebody. So like now,
yeah,
it seems like combat's gonna be a little bit more like, all right, we're not sure what this guy actually fucking has, so we got to be smart about this.
Yeah, I'm gonna give away some a trade secret of mine that I always thought was fun. Was you know you take a Delenzia or a badass Thrall, which I guess they're gonna get nerfed a little bit on this update too. But you take a Delenzia, you put armor on her so you can't see that she's a Delenzia, that she's not a Derfari. You name her Derfari Fighter 2, and when someone comes up to your base, they think they could just walk up and one shot it. And now you can also put some sort of a star metal weapon that looks like a stone weapon on her, and name her Darfari Fighter 2. That's kind of cool. I'm totally the asshole that would do that.
Oh yeah, no, and I mean it's cool. It's not a feature I would probably get too much into, but it's not a feature at the same time where I wouldn't partake, because I am that asshole who names thralls something completely fucking different. Just something stupid like Darfari Fighter 1 or just some random ass backwards name. But the zombie army, though.
I'll let you finish here, but I actually, even in real life, like I'll go to the bar sometimes and find a guy named Jim, take him home and call him Vanessa. So I'm totally with that.
So back to the zombie army, though. That was shit. I'm sorry. That was absolute shit. He spawned it in, summoned it, and it didn't even show up. And he was, oh, where is it? And it's
yeah, how unprofessional.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, man?
So prepared.
And then he shows off the zombie that you can knock out a level 1 thrall, take it to the grave, and summon a zombie from it. It'll be fully leveled. I think that's going to be the first thing that they nerf because, granted, it lasts a couple days. I think he said.
Yeah, I
But
believe it was like 2-3 days or something of in-game time, maybe.
yeah, but I mean,
It
it's
might take
like
you
you
3
could
days to level up a thrall, so why not?
well, you could raise an army within a matter of hours. So I could see them having to nerf that because here I go getting a bunch of level 1s, maybe a couple level 2s and throwing them into that grave and having them come out. Now granted, I don't know the cook time, but I'm pretty sure it's worth it because you're pumping out level 20s like they ain't shit. And if
Yeah,
they
but
get
also
shit
if you have
stats, then you'll be, you just get rid of it, get another one.
Well, if you have 10 fucking graves at your base, who gives a fuck? You go out, get 10 tier 1s that are close by to you, throw each of them in a grave. If it takes 2, 3, 4 hours in game for them to fucking pop out, who gives a shit? You pop out 10 level 20s by the time they're all fucking done. And you
Yeah.
know that's not out of the realm of possibility because that's some shit we've done where
Yeah.
you've got like 10 furnaces to cook all your shit.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. One thing though, you can't. It's not like you can use them to attack because you can't run around with 20 thralls. So it would be only to defend.
no, but you apparently can run around with 3 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's so yeah. So you could really get your 3 thralls, have them leveled up to level 20 in about 4 hours, whatever it takes for them to cook in the grave. I mean, hey, I maybe you don't feel that good about it. I kind of think that's cool, but
Honestly, my well of Funcom enjoyment has run its course, to be completely honest.
mine too. Mine too. We're sitting here talking about the good right now, but we're gonna definitely get to the bad. What a better way to segue into that than to talk. Does anyone else have any other good?
I got one thing on it.
Okay.
Like one of the most exciting things about the possibility of adding magic, and then now, like you guys said, they're adding necromancy. Yeah, anybody that's into some of the more RP side of Conan, that's a fan of like Dungeons and Dragons.
I
Now,
actually have a sexual story that relates to that too, but we'll talk on that.
but like you could be a fighter class or barbarian class. In the past, that's your only options. Now we're adding possible sorcery, maybe a wizard, and now you could be a necromancer. I find that kind of interesting for the RP side.
Well,
Opens up a possibility for a battle mage or something of the sort. Yeah.
well,
Yeah, from an
unfortunately,
RP standpoint, that actually is pretty cool.
it's not casting spells. It's you're not getting fireball. You're not getting.
No.
I think you can get. I think they were saying a couple of attack spells, but the rest of it's just utility. So you will be able to raise because it's not like a high fantasy is the term that they used in the
Low
stream.
fantasy. They're trying to
Yeah.
keep it as close to Howard's.
Yeah.
They kept calling him Howard like they knew him.
Yeah, no.
Even though I'm pretty sure isn't that his last name?
Yeah, it's his last name.
Yeah.
Robert E.
So
Howard.
they were like, oh yeah, we're keeping it to Howard's vision of this world, and which is cool, which is fine. But yeah, I mean,
I've
I
always
still
wanted to
think
be
it's
with a midget, and I guess you could kind of call that a low fantasy. But keep going.
Jesus. But
Keep
yeah,
going,
no,
Tate.
Oh, sorry.
well,
Or
yeah,
Aurelius. Is Aurelius here? Yeah, there we go. Keep going.
Yeah, no. So with that, pretty much it's one of those things that I think it's going to be pretty cool. Main thing I'm worried about is how it's pulled off and the bugs with it. But I mean, I could see, if they're going for more of that utility, summoning an army, summoning the undead, pretty cool. That one spell you were talking about where you're clearing out, it breaks trees down or something. That I could see being used as, even the archery, even though archery is a really shitty system, they need to redesign the combat just overall to make it a little bit snappier and also make that aiming with the bow way fucking better because nobody uses bows really except to set shit off from a distance for explosive jars. But I could see if somebody was hiding and darting around in the trees and making it difficult to catch up to them, or maybe shoot them because they're behind cover or something. You get a sorcerer in your fucking group that just clears all the fucking trees out in an area in a goddamn instant. I could see that being somewhat fucking useful. Like, oh shit, this person doesn't have anywhere to fucking dip and dodge and fucking hide between now.
That's a good point. Go ahead, boss. I think you had something you were gonna say.
I honestly completely forgot it.
All right. All right. Well, what better way to segue into the bad? And hey, look, I think all this stuff is cool. However, I have a PS4, and I think the game is so buggy already now, and it's only going to get worse that I'm not even going to play it. I don't care. It's not. It doesn't matter to me because the game is so buggy that I can't really play it, and it's just a shame because they made a really cool game, which they don't care to fix. But to segue into how much the bad, how about that? This guy had extra time to prepare for his live stream because he called in sick and blew off of work. And couple
Too much
days
cocaine
later,
and hookers the night before, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
Must have been. And he does the live stream and he's not even prepared for it. He can't even make the zombie army come out, and he's got a huge glitch that happens at what probably was like the biggest, coolest showcasing part of the entire live stream, and blew it because, as I said, the game is buggy. It glitched out and screwed up the game during his live stream, which I think is kind of poetic and hilarious.
Well, and he
Go ahead, Bob.
he even mentioned some shit that was just absolutely ridiculous. He had anytime somebody would ask him a question, he was very vague. And I guess somebody had asked the question of optimizations. And he was just like, well, your game should be more optimized, not less optimized, more optimized with each update. Which, if you play on console, you know that that's a damn lie. And we all know that when you're playing on console, you get a new update, you know damn well something's fucked.
The game isn't even going to work probably for a month when you get an update.
If that. I mean, it may take them 2 months. And it's just this whole update, because if you guys remember, they had announced that, once they had announced sorcery, they said, oh hey, we'll have a sorcery themed DLC, which apparently is not even the case anymore. It's all going to be in this Battlepass bullshit. And it just screams obvious cash grab, because every time they mentioned something, it had to do with finances, it had to do with money. And, oh, well, we know that people are claiming that this is a FOMO, which is, what is it? I forget what the goddamn acronym stands for, but it's, fear of missing out. Yeah, fear of missing out. And that's all this is. And they didn't like being called out on it. You could tell by the body language of Andy that...
Yeah, the one guy just kept getting defensive, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And then the other guy, the developer, he fucking sat there and tried to guilt us players into fucking paying for this bullshit. Oh, well, gaming is not a lucrative career, and there's not really much money to be made, and we gotta pay the bills, and we gotta keep our people with roofs over their heads. It's like, that's not my fucking problem.
That was the one thing that I caught when I hopped on when I was at work that pissed me a bit off. Because, he was like, oh, no one gets into gaming because it's lucrative. Like, tell that to all the fucking AAA developers and shit out there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's a little company called Activision that Microsoft is paying multi-million-dollars for. So don't tell me you're not making money selling video games.
Well, even Funcoms, a multi-million-dollar company. So to sit there and say, oh, well, we're really hurting, that's not my problem. That's not no consumer's problem. That is the developer's problem.
Maybe if you fixed your game, you wouldn't be hurt.
Well, even then, if you didn't take 2 fucking years off, you wouldn't be hurting. But you decided to send everybody home or whatever the fuck, and take 2 years off, which it hurt their bottom dollar. And that's on them. Again, me as a consumer, I don't go to a company and purchase something going, man, I hope this pays for that worker's rent I hope this keeps the lights on for that worker. I go, hey, I like this, let me grab it. If it happens to support the company that I share values with, then great. But nobody in the history of purchasing goes, oh, well, I hope that this item that I purchase helps the worker that is struggling. And no. And if you say you do, you're full of shit.
Well,
Yeah,
the
it's
main
almost like
purchase is for
they're panhandling.
yourself.
It's almost like they're panhandling. Like I might as well put out a GoFundMe or something.
Exactly. They're just guilting their
Exactly.
players.
And
And
like you said, like if you want to people to support your game and pay you, you have to bring value. This is no one's gonna say, "Oh, he makes video games," and for instead of the homeless, I'm gonna donate to him. Like you have to provide value, and the value is a good, fun, playable game that works.
well,
Right, which currently it does to an extent. However,
Not for many.
you're not
not for
yeah,
Richie.
you're not really going and doing that for most people, or at least even if it's a minority. Like, I mean, you, Richie, you can't play anywhere in the vicinity of an animal pen without getting fucked. So I don't know if anybody
My
knows
game
that.
glitches out, and it's like if I go near an animal pen, I glitch out for at least a good 5 minutes. If I go near an animal pen that's on a big base, I could be stuck for 20 minutes to a half an hour. Me and Boss, we went and raided some base, and they had a pretty big base. I was stuck for I think it was like a good 20 minutes to a half an hour while he's out there just fucking going nuts.
No, you were stuck there for an hour and a half. And then you got free once the animal pen was, taken care of. And then you glitched out again for about 30 minutes due to the fucking horse pen. So
Yeah.
by the time you were ready to do something, I was fucking done. I had my fun and I was ready to call it a day. Because it was just, I mean, you were just stuck there for so goddamn long. And
Yeah.
if I was the opposing force and you were stuck there, you're easy target. You cannot play the fucking game because you are stuck there. I kill you, you try to come get your shit back, you can't. Your shit is gone. You can't even retaliate. Hell, you can't even come back to the base that you're clanned in with because there's an animal pen there. Because if you do, fuck, you're glitching out for however long. And
they chose the animal pen over me.
well, and the animal pen makes resources, you don't. But no, I mean, it's just they won't fix a glitch like that because that's game breaking. Let's be honest, it's game breaking, and the fact that they won't even acknowledge it, they'll acknowledge the
game breaking for PvP. I guess outside of PvP, and I'm sorry, I'll let you finish, but outside of PvP as well, because even PvE, you can't grow any animals that you need or do rock nose farm for gold and silver dust if you need to do that because you can't play near it. But
well, I also can't tell you how many times I've been killed just walking by someone else's animal pen that I didn't know was there, and I get killed by like a crocodile or something because I can't fight. I'm glitched out. My character just glitches out and starts slowly moving across the screen.
Well, and they need to optimize for both of those because I mean, even Boss playing with you when we went to the volcano, and you had to teleport into the obelisk that was there, and you literally spawned in and died because of heat because you had to come back get your armor, but you died because of heat. And the first time you died, you had the armor on, and you died of heat stroke because you couldn't load in fast enough to pop a potion or drink something to cool you down. So they need to optimize that, or at least reinstate where it was when you were teleporting to an obelisk. You didn't take any health damage until you were fully loaded in on your side of things, because that's just messed up. Because people will spawn camp those goddamn obelisks.
Well, and like I was the point I was trying to make earlier. Thanks. Fucking, it is game breaking, and we've gone above and beyond. I mean, we took time out of the day to fucking throw a video together just to show how bad it is. We even have the unedited version where it's a full fucking hour of us going to the place, us talking like, hey man, we want to make sure that we capture this, and there is no way anybody could say, oh well, you're full of shit, You know, we were covering every base we could. So when we finally cut it, edited it, we put it on their thing, and granted, they're responding to those players. They're like, oh my god, when's it going to come out? We need to know. Oh, it'll come out soon. And it just screams again, cash grab, because your player here, now granted, it's not just one. We know it's not just one. But a player here is mentioning a bug. You don't reach out privately. We're not trying to gain traction off your fucking Twitter. We're trying to get this shit addressed. We hoped that it was gonna get addressed, by a yes, there'll be bug fixes in the update. Wasn't even mentioned. It was, give us your money, please. We want your money. You owe us your money.
Oh no, it was mentioned by their moderators who fucking kicked me out of the chat for trying to address a goddamn bug issue, which pissed me the fuck off.
Well, and I even mentioned to you that they don't have any they have no knowledge. They're just chat moderators. They have no knowledge of shit. They said,
it should be. It should be fixed in this next update. And then I proceeded to be banned when I responded. When they were like, stop spamming, and I responded to explain why the fuck I was spamming. Like, hey, this is a game-breaking bug, and it's affecting my game, my friend's game's performance, and he can't play, glitches out. And they proceeded after that message to ban me from the chat for 30 minutes. After I didn't spam because it was a completely different message addressing a specific person with a reply on there to the mod. And then they ban me and tell me, oh, well, you need to check your mod order then. Like, they don't have the game on anything other than fucking PC. They couldn't think that, oh, maybe that's on PS4 or Xbox.
Yeah, there's no mods on PS4.
That's what fucking pissed me off. And then I couldn't say shit for 30 minutes to explain that, but it doesn't matter.
Well, they also didn't address it. They also didn't address it because they said with the optimizing thing, well, your game should become more optimized every update. Like, and basically putting it on you. It's your fault. Why?
Right, and if it doesn't, what the fuck then?
If it doesn't, well, what the hell? That's on you.
Well, and then
and the last thing, and we gotta let Boss go here, but the last thing was, they don't take any accountability, even if you go and report the shit to their whatever their official channel is too. You report it, you do not get a single answer, and then they close it after 2 weeks with nobody even saying anything like, "Oh, we'll try and fix it." Oh, can you tell us how
thank you for your submission.
Yeah, fuck you. It's been 2 weeks. We're closing it, and we're not saying anything about it.
Right. Fuck you very much.
No accountability. Sorry, boss. We stole the mic from you
there. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's fucking cool. but
well, some people have got to be able to speak.
Well, it's it just really pissed me off because it was nothing about money, and then one guy said, "Well, can we just play the game without the battle pass?" And holy shit, Andy B. Fucking I don't know his name, but he was the guy in the red shirt. Absolutely fucking condescendingly, like it's like he couldn't believe it. Here we are guilting you and you're not taking it? You're not going to give us your money? Well, you don't have to buy the battle pass. I mean, nobody's forcing you. It's only like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? It screams as a cash grab, and when somebody calls you out on it, how dare they? How dare they call you out on a cash grab? Fuck you. That's how I feel about it. The game is fucking a glitchy mess. It's on more than just fucking PC. And you're gonna get mad because somebody just is over dealing with your bullshit? Blows me away.
It's a shame because it was such a cool game when it came out, and I think it's a cool game if it's not so buggy, but it's not playable.
Oh, it is. It is very fun.
And it's not just my glitch. Like, you guys glitch out all the time, too. Like, anytime we get on a server with more than, 3 freaking people, all of a sudden everyone starts glitching.
Dude, the kudus and the crocodiles are still floating up in the air. That was a glitch, years ago.
Yeah.
Like the animal pen. It was a glitch, 2.5 years ago. They still haven't fixed it. Dude, honestly, 7 days die on console is
everybody glitching out. I'm more talking about, the game breakers. Server just getting shut down in the middle of nowhere. Everybody just starts glitching out and you can't see anything. Your frame rate drops and results in you dying or something bad happening. That type of stuff is game breaking, and they don't care. It's been going on forever.
Yeah, no, and it's just the reaction from these two people that were holding their hands out, begging for money, just fucking blew my mind. And granted, I say begging because that's how it comes off. It's give us your money, please, because the last 2 years have been hard on us, and you should feel bad. We're gonna pull at your heartstrings. You're begging, but and then their fucking pricing. I mean, they did say prices are subject to change. Okay, sure, but who the fuck signed off on your current pricings? Because what the fuck? $10 to get into a battle pass. Okay, fine, whatever. But that is 1,200 Crom coins. Is $10 for a fucking chair and a thing that goes on the goddamn table to look like you have a full banquet spread. That was 1,100 coins. Who the fuck signed off on that? I mean, it's 800 Crom coins for a fucking set of armor.
And don't you need 30 for the whole, like $30 for the whole battle
Oh,
pass?
yeah,
If
yeah.
you want the premium battle pass
Yeah,
with an extra 11 tiers that apparently isn't like every other battle pass where it's just 11 tier skips. So you start at level 11 when you buy that. No, apparently from what you said, boss, it's you start at level 0, you work your way all the way up to, I don't know, let's say there's 60 levels in the battle pass, and then there's an additional 11 afterwards, so you could go to
15.
technically tier 71 or tier 75.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you not make it like any other battle pass where it's just 10 or 15 tier skips? So you spend $30, you start at tier 15, and you get everything from tier 15 down, and then you have a head start on the fucking thing.
Oh, no.
I could see that because that's sold to people who want to cut time out. But the fact that there's going to be an extra 15 tiers that you can't see on there before you buy it, come on.
Yeah,
Why?
that's bullshit. Because now you went and spent $30 fucking dollars on something you can't see, and you may get it. Well, I mean, when you get it, it may be shit you don't want. You could have saved that fucking money, and the fuck part is you have to spend $30 to unlock that premium thing. Because I think I got the screenshot of the price, but the way they did it was you can't just get two $10 Crom coins. You have to get the $10 Crom coins and the next step up, which I think was $17 fucking 50 or $17.90. So that's $27 right there. But the 17 was on sale. Now, why is it on sale if the prices are subject to change? I don't think they're subject to change. I think it's subject to change if we get enough blowback. But what are your thoughts, Thor? Because you're being real quiet. I want to hear what you have to say. I mean, you're being quiet because of me, because I'm talking.
Well, like for the most part, I didn't catch the podcast, so I don't have anything to go off on there. And I'm in a rare.
You were chilling in your Corvette with your three Mormon wives down there.
And then with the glitching, unfortunately, the only glitches I have encountered is the occasional floating. Since I've got a PS4 Pro with a solid state drive, a lot of the issues I don't run into.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, I tried. I replaced the drive. Well, I should be more specific. Aurelius replaced my drive. I'm still glitching. I've got a hardline internet, hardwired internet connection to fiber. Still getting all these glitches.
I figured that would have helped.
But you've gone above and beyond what you should do when dealing with a video game, because it shouldn't be your responsibility to attempt to fix their issues. Granted, it helps. I mean, you'll get better quality, but the fact that you've gone above and beyond just to fix shit on your end and you can't even get a goddamn response from them is a goddamn travesty, because the game is fun when it works. And yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Absolute ridiculousness.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I'm really pissed too, because I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with this game. Like, I do like the game. If they ever got their shit together, I'd be happy. And just so anyone out there listening knows, we would all be happy to give them some money. We just want them We just want them to fucking provide something of value. Just
Hey, you
do a
gotta
good
earn
job.
that money. You know, I want them to shake some things for me before I pay them. You know.
At least fucking earn
Yeah,
it.
just kick that ass. Give us a game.
Right, exactly. At least, you know, get down on your knees if you're gonna be asking for my money, you know. But yeah, as as for the PlayStation thing, I mean, you know, yeah, Thor, you've got the Pro with the SSD in there, and I've got one too, and I can't say I've noticed um, too many issues. Every so often, it does drop frame rate wise. Can't fucking talk. But that's neither here nor there. You shouldn't be forced into getting another console or upgrading to an SSD just for the performance, uh, you know, to go and be upped. I mean, this game was built around, should have been built around base PlayStation 4, and then PS4 be, you know, they may have a couple extra features like increased render distance and this and that. But as far as we know, this game was built around PS4 baseline, because I don't even know if it was. I think this game was put out before PlayStation 4 Pro came out. And even on top of that, when Sony released the PS4 Pro, they said that the developers were going to be building games for both PS4 and PS4 Pro, and that the Pro would just have an enhanced mode for those games if it was PS4 Pro supported. So, in reality, the game should work on base PS4 with no issues. So the fact that it doesn't, and that there's some game-breaking glitch for you with the Animal Pens, Richie, it's just unacceptable, really, on that.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, I get it if maybe games have evolved to the point where PS4 Pro can't handle it, but I think they put out buggy update after buggy update to the point where, you know, the game just, it's shitty. You know, I mean, you can tell just by the fact if you get on a populated server, things don't work.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that's one of the things that with their game, they really should be going on that PS4 route, fixing that, the optimization. But apparently, you know, they don't care about that as much as they do care about getting this Battle Pass up and running and
And paid for it.
replacing that, you know, and replacing regular DLC with this Battle Pass, from which I heard on the uh, podcast or whatever you want to call it, a live stream, that apparently that DLC is going away. That redhead said it is going away, and they're going to shift more towards this Battle Pass side of
Wow.
things. So my thing with that is, what happens if those culture packs that they're saying with the building pieces, the weapons, and the armor, you know, like the Tyranian pack and whatever it is, if that's going away in favor of being put onto the Battle Pass, that means we have to buy Battle Pass every 3 months or so, or something like that, or every age, or what they were saying it was going in. And we have to spend that money. And then what happens if we don't finish the Battle Pass? Because the DLC, you could buy it for $10, $15. You got everything in there immediately and you could use it. Battle Pass, we have to work up to it. So what if this really cool, I don't know, fucking
Building piece.
building
That's what
piece
I really
or
like, right?
weapon
Building
is at
pieces
the
of
end of
armor.
it that has a cool skin and a piece of armor that's from some certain race or culture in this fucking Conan lore universe, and you can't get it, and you know, you're working too much those couple months and you forgot about it, or you buy the Battle Pass in the last month and you go and you work your way through most of it and it starts slowing down, you get tied up, and you know, you're chasing too much poon like fucking Thor, and you know, you just forget
Oh
about
yeah.
it for the last fucking week. What happens with that? DLC,
Yeah.
you used to be able to have everything. Battle Pass now, is that going to be in a store? And
You
if it's
paid
in a
for it and you
store
still
later on, right, or you paid for it and you didn't get all the DLC or all the shit that you wanted. So if you don't get that Battle Pass, that sword or that building piece, is that going to be, do you get it at the end of the Battle Pass anyways? No. Oh, we'll put it up in a store later on for anything that was maybe in a Battle Pass before. So
now
anything
you
I
gotta pay
didn't
for it
get for the
twice.
Battle Pass I paid for,
They'll get you.
exactly, I'm going to have to pay for it again,
What a
which I
shitty
think is
time.
utter fucking bullshit.
What a shitty
So,
time we live in. Because
it's
last I checked,
microtransactions, man.
you know, last I checked, if I gave you money for a product, that's like me giving you money for a product and you telling me, well, before you get this product, I'm gonna need you to create this product for me, and you know, build it, basically get it for yourself. We'll take your money, but if you can't get it all, then you're shit out of luck. That's
Well, and
fucking
that's what
shit.
I think it's bullshit. The fact
Yeah.
that you'll pay, and then because they've mentioned that anything that
We need to get
they
into
might
that
bring them
racket
into the
real estate.
bazaar.
For
So-
300 grand, we'll let you build your own house.
Right. So, they mention anything that isn't in there may go back into the bazaar, and if it does, they're not going to give it to you for free. If you had bought the battle pass
Fuck
that
no.
item was in, you're going to have to spend $5 or maybe $10 on that, and then they'll be, well, if you got the battle pass and worked through it, instead of spending $10 on this sword, you could have spent $10 and gotten this sword and everything else that was in the battle pass, which I have no problems with battle passes. Don't
I
make
hope
it
they're not.
a replacement for DLC that you're going to and then not be able to let everybody get it, because that's a little bit different. And then on top of that, you're kind of fucking your player base by doing that. I just don't like that portion.
What's going to happen to the DLCs we already bought? If they take those away, they need to.
No. Those DLCs are staying in, but I mean, future DLCs, they said they're looking to shift more towards this route, which honestly they may get blowback, and that's why he probably said we're looking to shift this way on it. So if there's blowback, they might not shift to that, because I'd rather buy a DLC, get all the shit that I paid for, instead of buying a battle pass and not getting all of that shit. So that's my thoughts on it there. I mean,
it's definitely a cash grab.
Well, this whole thing is.
That's just really shitty. And then the live stream itself, just the way the mods were like talking to everyone, like, you're my subject, give me your money. Like, ugh.
It was absolutely disgusting to see these people beg for money, but then treat the people who didn't care to give them the money, treat them like shit. Like, how dare you? How fucking dare you not give us your money? It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do a quick vote. All right, is Conan worth paying any money for? Is anything worth paying for? Is it worth shelling out the $30 for this battle pass? Because it's not worth buying the $10 pass for sure, because you don't get everything. I'm gonna go no.
No.
Aurelius.
Honestly, I say I bought battle passes in other games, but this one I don't think so. I don't think I'd be playing it enough for the challenges to really get the full enjoyment out of it. So no.
Sure.
I'd have to see what the different tiers actually included, but more than likely, for the amount of time I have to actually spend on a game in a time frame, I probably wouldn't be interested. So I'd say no.
3.5 to 4 no's. I hope everyone else out there doesn't. I hope they vote with their dollars and tell Funcom to up their game.
And that's a big B.A.T.R bomb on that fucking battle pass.
That is the B.A.T.R Bomb.